Good afternoon. Number 710, right? Yes. Welcome to Medley meeting number 710. My name is Venkat Palle. Today, Sergeant at Arms for this meeting. There are some ground rules before we start this meeting. Number 1, please turn off your mobile or put them in silent mode. I'll give 5 seconds. Please do it. Let me do it myself. Toastmasters International is a near century old organization helping its members to grow the area of public speaking and leadership abilities. As per the mission of Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience by which members grow their communication leadership skills, resulting greater self-confidence and personal growth. Without further ado, I would like to introduce a person who take this meeting forward. He is a Toastmaster since 2009 and looking for every opportunity to refine his leadership and communication skill. Let's put hands together to welcome our President Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkat Palle. Good afternoon, Toastmasters as well as guests. How are you all doing?
Great.
Excellent. Thank you. With the sound of this gavel, I declare the meeting number 710 open. I'm glad to welcome the dignitaries who have joined today's meeting. DTM Thomas Abraham, DTM Nandini, thank you for joining. DTM Nandini is joining us from the Toastmasters Club, Canberra in Australia. And I can see several guests who have joined as well. I would like them to come over here and introduce themselves and let us know what their expectations for today are. DTM Nandini, can you please come here and then let us know?
Thank you, Mr. President. It is absolutely astonishing to be standing here in person. I wanted to explore a Toastmasters Club that was close to Adyar or in Adyar for my mother, who said to me at the age of 84 that she wanted to improve her communication skills. And when I read about your esteemed club and how much you have achieved, there was simply no other choice. It is a great privilege to be standing here. I landed from Canberra this morning, and I'm so looking forward to the speeches, the impromptu topics, and of course, more words from the President.
Thank you. Thank you, and you have come to the right platform as well as forum as well. And Madam, yourself, and if you can introduce and then let us know.
No, you can sit and
Yeah, you can
sit and
speak. Yeah.
sit and speak. No problem.
I am Gomati. I just came here to improve my self-esteem and to have learning experience from vibrant people like you all and become more confident. That is my...
Thank you, madam. You are an inspiration for us, and this learning will be mutual. Okay, and we also can learn a lot from you. Thank you. And Vijay Raghavan, Toastmaster Vijay Raghavan, previously a Medleyan. Can you please come over here and introduce yourself for the other Medleyans?
Good evening, Toastmasters, and my name is. This is Vijay Rajan. Medley was my first Toastmasters club. I joined Toastmasters in the year 2015 because of Medley, and after that I went to Gudvanjeri so that due to proximity reasons I couldn't come here. Today I came to Adyar. When you come to a place, when you go to any place, you would like to see the old friends and relatives. So the same way I wanted to meet my old friends, and I always consider Medley as my relative. So today I walked in.
Thank you, Jagannathan, for joining us. And Medley is always gold, not gold. Okay, fine. Then yourself, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Suresh, yeah.
No, come, friend.
A change in you. The fifth time you are coming, right?
Yes.
No, this is fourth time. Maybe next time so.
So you want to tell me about my experience?
No, I know, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my fourth time coming to this class, and this is the first time I'm coming to Toastmasters. So I now done this public speaking or anything related to this. The last time I did it was in my own school, but that doesn't really count. That was like for like 3 minutes or something. But in front of this huge audience, this is my first time. And like before, you could see I was not really confident in my in what my content I was telling about. But over here, I can use something like even I could say something, or when the topic is familiar. So seeing the experience over here has really helped me to improve the quality.
Last time you were given a topic of how to be a millionaire and what you'll do if you are given $1 million, right? Let us see what will happen today. Okay, so the next guest, yourself, please. This is your third meeting?
Second meeting, sir.
Second meeting. How come I'm missing this?
Good evening to all. Sir, I am Dr. M. Samuel, working as a senior technical officer in Central Leather Research Institute. This is the second time I am coming. 2 weeks back I have attended, but hardly I was there for 1 hour. I want to improve my English speaking skill. I believe I should develop. Thank you, sir.
1 hour or 2 hours doesn't matter, because the learning is more important, and even for a minute also you will learn something. And thank you for joining, and then thank you for coming over here as well. Fine. Any more guests whom I might have missed? No, I don't see. All are, yeah, fine. So today is a very special day. You know why? I'm opening this topic because Dr. Anuradha is not here. Otherwise she will just come up with that by Googling that and then come up with the answer. Anybody knows?
Right brothers.
Wow. Okay, another doctor has come to the rescue. Yeah, today is Wright Brothers Day. Okay, who are all Wright brothers?
We are not in the
Sorry?
aeroplane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Talking about the aeroplane, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilbur is the one name.
Yeah, correct.
The other person's name.
Oliver something.
Oliver.
Yeah. Oliver, not something. Oliver. Right. Yeah, right. Okay, fine. So these two, in the year 1903, on December 17th, they came up with the first mechanically driven flight or airplane, and that ran for nearly 12 seconds. 12 seconds at that time, it was big. But what he mentioned is, anything can fly in the air. But what is more important is the knowledge and skill that is needed rather than the motor that is there in the airplane, that is more important. So, knowledge and skill are very much important for our daily life. And Toastmasters provide a platform for us to enhance the knowledge and skill so that we become a better person. And I'm sure all the 5 guests who have come over here have got something, want to learn something, right? And then we also want to learn something from them. That's the reason we have this forum called as Toastmasters Club. And for enabling the knowledge and skill for the children, DTM Thomas Abraham has come up with a noble cause. And he has sent out a message on YLP. So in case if you want to know more about that, the youth leadership program or anything of that sort, and if you can do some help, please reach out to DTM Thomas Abraham. We will come up with more information at a later point of time. Now, I would like to recognize one person in this meeting. Normally, I call for the ex-com members and then say like, okay, they have done a good job and all. But I would like to call out an ex-com person who has done a tremendous job. Toastmaster Prasanna. The reason here is, she is already playing the secretary role for this year, this term. but she also has taken up additional responsibilities of the VPPR role, and not only doing the VPPR role effectively, but also has got the subcommittee members already for the next term. Very enthusiastic, very dedicated, very motivated, and we need people like you. Very good. We have our OTP on the officers training program on 8th of January, and already a mail has been sent, a message has been sent to our group, and there are certain roles that can be played. So in case if you are interested, please take up those roles, and we will send that again. It is on 8th January. The venue is online, not online, it is offline, but the venue is TBD. Okay, we have not yet found out the place yet. Okay? But please prepare yourself so that you will learn a lot of things by attending that meeting, by organizing that meeting, by being there in the organizing committee as well. This is very much important for the upcoming ExCom members, because we already have got how many points? 9.5 points, 9.5 points already, and this is the 0.5 point that is necessary for the ExCom members to attend, so that we will be coming back to that 10 out of 10 for the 15th consecutive year. Now, to take the meeting forward, we have Toastmaster of the Day. Today's Toastmaster of the Day is a person. I asked a couple of days back how you would like to be introduced in this club. She gave an A4 size chart with some 650 lines, and then with 12 charts, 12 diagrams, and said that just pick 2 lines from there. We are Toastmasters. If we are given 2 lines, we talk about a big paragraph. But she gave a big A4 size sheet and asked me to pick 2 lines. So I took it as a challenge. Not 2 lines. I will say 1 word. She is an all-rounder. A dentist by profession, marathon runner, public speaker, Rotarian, motivational speaker. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmasters.
Greetings and good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right choice of words. The school announced a project day, and my son Abhinav was in 7th standard. His teacher said, Abhinav, you will be the group captain, select your topic, select your members, and form the group. The child was shocked. He was coming back home contemplating, can I be a leader? Can I choose a topic? Can I choose my members? And as he was coming home, I was sitting there looking at a video of Sudha Murthy, Infosys chairperson, and she is my big inspiration. She was addressing a crowd of 1,000 school children, and she was saying to them, dear children, when the question can I comes into your mind, just replace it with how can I, and see the magic that unfolds. Now this fellow took that. He shifted his can I to how can I. The rest are details. He was selected as the best captain, and his team was the best project. 2 weeks back, I had been to Prestige Palladium for a meeting with a corporate company. I had to park in the parking lot. As I was entering to park, the security came running saying, Madam, wait, you have to reverse park and please park between these 2 cars into that small space. Do you know what are those 2 cars? This is X1 BMW, the other was Q3 Audi. So I have to park in that small space between the 2 luxury cars. I was more bothered about their cars than my Suzuki Baleno what I had. So the question that came, can I, Sandhya? I immediately shifted to, how can I? How can I park safe? Series of answers unfolded like the water in the river Ganges. Keep your light and the left mirrors tilted. Ensure you see the tail of the car. Have control over the steering. See the rear view mirror. Hear too the reverse sound. Don't overdo right and left. Be gentle. Go slow. Go slow. Go slow. Bang on. The car was parked between Audi and BMW. So Medleyans, no more can I. Only how can I from today. Greetings and good evening once again. Going back to the meeting, welcome all to this wonderful meeting. This is my debut TMOD, so I need a lot of your wishes and support. Thank you so much. Thank you. So coming back to a regular Toastmaster meeting, the structure of a Toastmaster meeting, it has 3 parts to it. The part 1 is prepared speeches, where the speaker is given a project and prepares well and delivers the speech in a specific period of time. The part 2 is the most essential, thrilling, I would rather call, the table topic or the impromptu speaker session, where we stand on foot thinking, forming, framing and delivering the speech. The third is the evaluation and the feedback round, where we give constructive feedback to the speakers. So this is all about the structure of the Toastmaster meeting. Now it's time to introduce the GE, the General Evaluator of the day. Some girls look beautiful in diamond, but some girls make diamond look beautiful. Some men speak English beautifully, but few men make English look beautiful, and this gentleman is one of them, who is DTM Thomas Abraham. He has 8 years in this Toastmastering journey, yearning to learn much more, and inspiration to all of us, and the lingering phrase in his mind, how can I add more value? Over to you, G.
Thank you very much. If I don't have words, you know why. Still, I have a role to play. It's a matter of privilege and prestige for me to be the GE at this prestigious club today. To take things forward, I would request 3 of my colleagues who constitute a tag team to come over, starting with timer Toastmaster Nishana. She is the co-founder of Workline, which operates in the HR, tech and work tech space. Her interesting observation about how people misuse words is between and among. Between and among. If it is A and B, it is between A and B. If it is A, B and C, it is among A, B and C. Yeah, it's simple, but often people fumble on this. So that's a story for the day. Please I've introduced you. Kindly introduce us to the objective of your role today.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm playing the role of timer here, and I'll be your TikTok clock for today, and I'll be also timing all of your speeches for today. Today I have 3 different cards with me. I have green, yellow and red. This is pretty much like your traffic signals. Green is when you are good to go, yellow is when you need to be mindful, and red is when you need to stop. So the general structure of Toastmasters, as Sandhya has stated, there are 3 different speeches. First is the structured speech. This is where weeks and weeks of preparations go on, and we have 2 eloquent speakers today. So for the first speech, we have 5 to 7 minutes of time, and for at 5 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. And for the second speech, we have 10 to 12 minutes of time. At 10 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 11 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. And at 12 minutes, I'll show the red card. Second category is the evaluation speech. They are masters who can give instant feedback on those prepared speeches. So for those masters, we have 2 to 3 minutes of time. At 2 minutes, I'll show the green card. 2.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and with 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. The third and the interesting category is the table topic speech. For the table topic speech, unlike the first two categories, this is where the speakers want the times to fly by. So I have 1 to 2 minutes of time for the table topic speaker. At 1 minute, I'll show the green card. 1.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. Now, apart from this allocated time, you will also get 30 seconds of time to complete your speech to get qualified as to be eligible for a qualified speaker. And thank you and all the best.
Wasn't that as precise as the traffic signal itself? There's also the authority of the traffic policeman rolled into that. Thank you very, very much. We will now listen to the second of the tag counters, the R counter, and that's being played by Toastmaster Renu. She loves exploring new places, prefers traveling by road, and if not, trekking. Wow. You can't get closer to nature than that, right? And she's, now here is something you must give me credit for. I'm going to tell you something which none of you knew about so far, except her, that is. She is a native of, where is she originally from? You are away by a few thousand kilometers, yes? She is from Ernakulam. I have it in good authority. She is also familiar in Konkan language. And as for herself, the little bug that she finds in languages, many people introduce themselves as myself Renuka, myself so and so. You know the answer is I am. Thank you very much, and over to you to tell us. And again I must say, as she comes along, for me more than anything else, peace and calm. She embodies that. When she speaks, I feel that. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Jagannathan, for that warm introduction. Very good evening to all of you, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, my role as our counter demands that I listen very carefully to every speaker for use of crutch words or filler words like crutch words like and, you know, you see, and filler words like or long pauses or repetitions. So I will be listening, but this is not a criticism. It is only to help the speakers understand how many crutch words or filler words you're using and to make an attempt not to use such words in future. So thank you very much, and I will submit my report later on when I'm called by the general manager. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So we noticed today one peculiarity is the tag team. All of them are very sympathetic people, and the third one of the trio is Toastmaster Venkateshan, who is the grammarian. He's a passionate learner inspired by babies and toddlers. We must hear more about it one of these days. Maybe it could be a speech from you on that. One thing I can vouchsafe for, I see him more often in other clubs than here. We are both regular here, yet we meet so often doing multiple roles in other clubs. And read, write and speak Oriya. Did you know that? That's something special about him. You thought it's only Spanish? Spanish is the latest craze. This is the old one. This is the old flame, Oriya. And you could come and explain to us why empathy is the bug for you. That's a word that people use wrongly, right?
Yes.
Please, you could tell us that and your role.
Yeah. So, as a grammarian, my role today has been taken over by the TMOD, right choice of words. As a grammarian, I notice the right usage of words and the wrong usage of words and share the report with all of you. And as our general graduator asked, empathy is the word which I am seeing recently in the corporate world being used, overused or misused. So empathy is not being very positive and being very kindful to the people and to himself. It is about understanding our own emotions and act accordingly, and also understand the societies or the people whom we are interacting, how to react to them or how to work with them or coordinate with them. So that's the way it has to be taken, but empathy is being misused or overused in different ways. That's the reason.
You have got a word for the day?
Yeah. So the word for the day is surmise. Surmise. Think or infer without strong evidence. Guess something. It can be used as verb as well. This is a noun, surmise. It can be used as verb as well, surmised or surmising. With little, just an example for you to use. With little info, we can only surmise what happened. So with this, I request all the speakers and the participants to use the word of the day in your speech or whenever you come here. Take that as an opportunity and use the word of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. If I say now, I surmise that my name will be the first among those who use the word of the day. Will it be correct? Thank you very much. So then, as for myself, at the end of the meeting, when I'm called upon, I'll be back with my observations about this meeting that I look forward to. Over to you. Thank you.
Back to the theme. The easiest way to go forward towards your goals is to use a powerful 3-letter word, Y-E-T, yet, at the end of a negative statement. I have not spoken in TT session yet. I don't want to learn new words yet. I can't train my team yet. What does this word do? This word is so powerful, it makes you realize there is scope for improving and going towards your goal. So let's use this word yet at the end of a limiting belief, a negative statement, and convert it into a positive affirmation which opens up huge possibilities for us to grow towards our goal. Now going on to the prepared speaker, I would like to introduce the speaker 1. I surmise few things about the speaker in my own perception. This speaker has a heart that never hurts. The speaker has a temper that never triggers. The speaker has a smile that never stops. Let's put our hands together to welcome Toastmaster before which I would like to call upon his evaluator, speech evaluator, Toastmaster Saravanan, to describe the project details.
Thank you, Toastmaster. There are 2 purposes for the speech today. The first purpose is for the project itself. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply his leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. The purpose of the first speech, this is the first speech, is for the member to introduce his plan and vision. There will be subsequent second speeches, but this is for today, this is the first speech. And timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to the Toastmaster.
Let's welcome Toastmaster Rangarajan Padma Vijayam. Khan, here we come. Khan, here we come. Toastmaster Rangarajan Padma Vijayam. All the best.
Just take a minute to. No.
To the second speaker of the day. This speaker has royalty in his name. In my perception, this speaker believes life is in the form of a flute with a lot of holes and emptiness. But if we handle it carefully, it can play magical melodies. Dear Medleyans and guests, 3 things cannot be hidden in this universe. 1, the sun. 2, the moon. 3, Jagan's melody. Toastmaster Jagan rediscovered himself by writing speeches for Toastmasters, and the lingering phrase inside him is, I hope. May I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Atishay, to describe his project details, please. Over to you.
Toastmaster Jaga today has 2 project objectives. The first one being for the member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of this path. So he's taking the last speech of his path, and for the guest, a path is one full section in Toastmasters. So the first objective is for him to reflect on his or her growth during this path. And the second purpose of the speech is for him to share one aspect of his or her growth during the completion of this path. Good luck, Toastmaster Jagan, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Jagannathan Chakravarti. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Toastmaster Jagannathan Chakravarti. All the best.
If somebody were to ask you, who do you think you are? Not in the arrogant way, but just asking you, who are you? What would be our answers? Anybody?
I am who I am.
Every time I put a question, somebody gives up this naughty answer. Every time. Anybody?
My name.
Your name?
Your profession.
Profession. Name, profession. These are matter of fact.
And passion.
Subjective. Passion.
Part of the universe.
Okay, I wouldn't categorize that a naughty answer, but an answer nevertheless. So we have a lot of objectives in life. Some of them are as a matter of fact, some of them are subjective. Matter of fact are like, as Atishay mentioned, the name, as our dear guest mentioned, profession. There are subjective things too, like what Renu mentioned, passion, and what our Toastmaster of the day mentioned as well. So these are subjective things that we cannot put it into one word. There are objective things that would not communicate as much. If I were to say I'm a software engineer, which is true, I'm a software engineer, what does that communicate? It doesn't communicate as much. I earn a living as a software engineer, that's all it communicates. If I say my name is Jagan, what does it communicate? It says I'm Jagan, nothing else. It doesn't say I'm world, as it says in Sanskrit, Jagan means world. It doesn't say I'm world. It says Jagan is Jagan. So there are certain subjective things which about us, which matter to us, or cannot be put in words. So I took a journey 2 years and 40 days ago to understand more about myself. To answer this question, who do you think you are? So the first speech, I took the pathway Persuasive Influence. Persuasive influence means it's a pathway where, as the name suggests, that you have to persuade someone. As simple as that. But there are other objectives too, which I'm not going in detail. The first speech that I delivered was on the 7th of November 2020. This was during the lockdown, and the video is from a Zoom recording. The title was Lights Too Bright. Every first speech is an icebreaker. You have to introduce yourself to the audience. I shared the speech script to my mentee once because he was doing an icebreaker, and I told him, you could do something like this. He said, Jagan, it tells so much about you. It told everything about me, what I am. But for people who had not read the script, they wouldn't remember because it was all knitted and put in between. You have to read between the lines to understand a lot of things. But I understood how I can deliver an icebreaker, which is not like I am from Chennai, I studied Proj standard, I studied engineering. It's not that. It's more deep, what are your beliefs, ideologies are. So this Lights Too Bright, I went back in time as how I would be as an infant. I opened my eyes, lights too bright. That's all it is. And there is a small girl, 6.5 years, elder to me, standing at the corner of the room. Both of us were fighting for mother's attention. My journey started from there. The second speech that I gave is the riverbed. It is the level 1, evaluation and feedback. First speech where we deliver a speech, we get a feedback from the evaluator, and we do the speech again for the second time. Now this is called riverbed. I know Venkatesan Chokalingam, he is my evaluator. He evaluated my speech. Here I had missed his spelling, I'm sorry. It says Chokalingam, but it says C-H-O-C-K. So,
right case of words.
This riverbed, as you could clearly see, it talks about 2 stratas of the society. I don't need to say more because it was more sociological. I dig deep. This was my second speech in the pathway, and I didn't hold anything. I said, this is what I'm going to, this is me. So I talked about the difference between the death of two people. One is Sushant Singh Rajput, a famous actor, and the other person was a sweeper, whose death was never popularized. So this was me. My second speech, I talked about the social structure that we have in our society and what can we do about it. The third speech is rice, rasam and curd. Although I look like Vin Diesel without the body, this is evaluation and feedback. Second speech, I took feedback from the first speech, Venkat shared his feedback, and I delivered it the 30th of January 2021. What would this speech be about? Anybody? Rice, rasam and curd. You guys have known icebreaker and the second speech. What would this speech be about? Any guesses? DTM Thomas would know because I shared my script with him.
The diverse things that make up a life.
Not that philosophical yet. But yeah, could be there. Anything?
Cooking, your experience of cooking.
Could be. But that was not the case. So this was my experience with my then grandfather who had expired now. It was a story that I had with him where he was in his deathbed and he couldn't eat. I fed him. He said thank you. He could not speak. He said thank you. And I remembered rice, rasam and curd that I wasted the other day. It was about that speech. Now stop the steal again. And does this ring with you all? Stop the steal.
Is it regarding copyright?
Correct. I became a pirate in my fourth speech. Now I delivered it twice. I was not satisfied with the first time and I delivered it again. Dinakaran and Jagannathan NC, both of them were the evaluators. Now this was the time that US presidential elections were really, it was the time. They were saying stop the steal, stop the steal. But the core of this message was that every religion teaches that stealing is a sin. Why not then stealing intellectual property is sin? Why don't we teach that? So this was about that speech. And again, this is a summary of level 1. In level 1, every month there was a speech. November 7th, 19th of December, 30th of January. If I was not satisfied, I delivered the speech again, 27th of February, and then there was 5 speeches, 5 months. By this time, the entire Toastmasters, whoever listened to the 5 speeches, they would know what kind of a person I am. Now, every time I mention about pirates, Venkat Session would say, oh, you are a pirate. Because I exactly enacted this, and every time he comes back and says, oh, you will not watch YouTube videos that are not from the official channels. Yeah, I will not. You will not download movies and what? No, I will not. Because I have been there, I have been a pirate myself, I have been a thief myself, and I don't want to be. So this is level 1. And level 2, again, this was experimental. This was the time that I wanted to be a leader. Should I take one way or the other way? Now this was specifically written that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is on the right side and Mr. Shah is on the left side. I learned how not to polarize the audience. Because if I mentioned them in their respective places, I would have split the audience. And I said, no. I want to brush it off. I want to talk politics, but not the kind of politics that will offend someone. So this was understanding your leadership style. Level 2, March 27, 2021. Evaluator was Priya, who is not here. The idea was that what kind of a leader am I? I didn't choose either of them, but it's more my own journey that I'm finding a person who is just in front, just in the middle. That's me. This is not me and this is not me. This is me. So this was a more self-reflection. I went back in my time to understand what kind of a person I am, what kind of a leader I am. The second, this is a much closer speech. And I know I even rode a horse on stage. And this is a movie from an old Tamil movie. I sang. This was the first time that I sang on stage. This is TV DVD Mufasa. Now the title, nobody liked it. My friends said, what are you saying TV DVD Mufasa? Later it changed to smartphone, iTunes and Simba. Now, people who have known about Lion King, Mufasa and Simba are father and son. So TV had changed into smartphone, DVD had changed into iTunes, and Mufasa turned into Simba. And I know it's very confusing right now. It's just the journey of transformation, what my father gave me, and how I had turned. he would listen to a lot of these songs on the TV. He would put on the DVD and he was the Mufasa. Now I open iTunes, in my smartphone I've become Simba. So the idea was that how my mentors have influenced me. The project is understanding as an introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. I mentioned about my father, my mother, a whole lot of people who have influenced me by being mentors. So this, I repeated the second project here, as you could see, it's called active listening. It's nothing but doing the table topic session. And I did the table topic session March, April and May. Every month I must be doing something. And this was the result of it. The level 3, this is where, this is 2022. Here you could see this is 2021. May 25th, 2021. From June to December I was not part of Toastmasters. I had taken a break because life was more important and I took a break. So February 22, I joined January 19th, 2022 and February 5, 2022, I delivered a speech. And again, this means fenugreek. In Tamil it's called Vendayam. This was a new phase in my life where I had started homemaking. So this is a conflict whether should rasam have fenugreek or not. My mother and I fought the entire time. I said, no, my YouTube teacher tells me rasam has fenugreek. She said, no, I have not done that way. Why do you want to introduce something new? So, as you could see, it came to Toastmasters as well. Now, let it rain. This is Connect with Storytelling, March 5, 2020. Shankar was the evaluator. I repeated the speech again. Prasannavani, I wanted to repeat it in person. Prasannavani evaluated it. Now, this, for people who know, I don't want to repeat it. It's more about love. It's a personal story, it's about love. Again, a guide from beyond. I don't know how many guys have heard about Rumi. Rumi, there is a poem called The Guest House. So, a guide from beyond comes from there. It talks about the emotions that we go through as people and how we have to just let them in and seek that in. So again, this is level 3. There are a lot of things I repeated. Every month I was doing something. Level 4, pads and periods. For people who have listened to the speech, it's not a straightforward one. But talking uncomfortable topics with people is something that I want to do. And a choir of butterflies is when every time I'm on stage, there's a choir of butterflies, my public speaking journey. And quickly, level 4, level 5 is take the bull by the horns. As you could see here, July 9, this is October 2. There's a 3-month gap. 3-month gap, which I will explain in a moment. This is part 1 and part 2. We delivered it it was in a beach meeting that I delivered the part 2 of the speech. And about a fortnight ago, I delivered Prepared to Speak Professionally. This was about 3 years, 3 months and 3 days, my exposure to music. So from lights to bright with this, if I was telling my mother, no horoscope needed, just send all these speeches. They would know much more about me than the horoscope. So, this is level 5 and right now here it is the 17th of December. Reflect on your path. Who do you think you are? I hope I partially answered that question. Who do you think you are? Even if somebody were to ask me, who do you think you are? This is what I am. So these are the lessons I've learned to apologize on stage, which I've never done before. I'm very proud of it. I've learned to write. I've learned that we are never short of stories. Never, ever. Something or the other will come and we'll speak. And to talk about uncomfortable topics and not how to polarize people, because the topic then becomes very diluted. Again, a partial answer to the title. I know there is red, I'll just quickly go through. What did I do? Well, I vetted every speech of mine with my mentor. It would go, the journey was that it became more honest. It became more myself than the flowery language. I vetted things with my mentees as well. I'd ask them. The other day, a mentee of mine said, Jagan, in the area speech you flunked. You didn't do well. He was my mentee, he was not my mentor. My mentee pointed out my mistake. No, you didn't do well there, Jagan. Nobody told me that. He told me you didn't do well there. So the idea of vetting things with your mentees as well. And I took time to write it's about 2 years and 4 months of a journey. I took time and savored each and every moment. I wrote the words as they should be. And I loved the process. I would like to thank my mentor who took time, TTM Thomas, who took time to read my scripts and come back saying, this is too much. Or you can go ahead with your creative liberties. So again, I took pleasure in the Monday. I will attend the meeting, I'll deliver speeches. That's why I had the courage to try a variety. I did a Toastmaster of the Day role, which was impromptu. Choose to challenge was something, the topic. I didn't know what the topic was, I just went ahead with it. There was something called habits a day will make your day. And then the other one was magic in the mundane. I tried these 3 topics which were impromptu and I failed. I'm happy. I failed. That's okay. To me, the fact is this here, I can fail. So again, what I could have done, well, I know I'm taking a bit time. The plan got derailed. As I said, there was a 3 months gap. That got derailed because level 4 and 5 is a bit dry. She was mentioning the other, it's a bit dry, it's difficult as well. And the level of persuasion had come down. Over a period, the level of persuasion had come down because the topics were not socially relevant, but it was more about me. So the persuasion had come down. Now for those who start, I'll just quickly go through it. It's an enjoyable marathon. And as I said, level 4 and 5 could be dry. It's an opportunity to create a profile for ourselves. It's better to dig deep into our lives and find stories that are worth mentioning. So that is about it. I know I've taken more time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
A detailed description of reflection of the path of this journey in Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmaster Jagan. May I request the timer, Nishana, to check whether the speakers are qualified? Yes, Nishana?
This is Toastmaster Ranga.
Toastmaster Ranga is qualified. Thank you so much. Back to the theme. Let's take 10 seconds to cast the vote for the speaker. Please take 10 seconds to cast the vote for the speaker. Moving on with the theme, a small tip to fast forward and go towards your goals fast. We often say, I should update my LinkedIn profile. I should update my resume. Stop using should. Instead, start using choose to. I choose to update my LinkedIn profile. I choose to update my resume. We also say, I have to go to the gym. I have to do yoga. I have to walk. I have to jog. Avoid using have to. Start using want to. I want to jog. I want to do yoga. I want to walk. So Medleyans, hereafter, no shoulds, no haves. Only I choose to, I want to. Because research says these words energizes your mind, motivates you and takes you towards your action. Now moving on to the most thrilling part of the meeting, which is the impromptu speech session, the table topic session. Now this Toastmaster believes we build the habits and later the habits build us. Toastmaster Jagannathan, with a 12 years of Toastmastering journey, a domain expert in an IPR firm in Chennai. His lingering phrase, never ever give up. Toastmaster Jagannathan to conduct the TT session. Over to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Very good afternoon and distinguished guests. Table topic is nothing but an impromptu speech. You should think on feet and deliver. First, the timing in TT speeches is minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, extra 30 seconds grace time. Less than 1 minute, you are unqualified for the selection. Let me invite the first Toastmaster Rajesh Chow. Come here. Every Toastmasters knows that Abdul Kalam is the president. He was 5 years, first term he was 5 years he was there. Don't talk about his presidency and other things. Talk about other than that, what he did in his school days and other things. We don't want to know about politics. All the best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. APJ Abdul Kalam, the person who is known to everyone, especially to the student fraternity. He was a good teacher, he was a scientist, and he was a nice and noble personality who has taught us integrity, talking about the truth, about honesty, and everywhere you see any books on self-development or any books on motivation, you will find APJ Abdul Kalam as an example. He has made, even you can see this movie, I forgot the movie's name, Rocketry. I think there has been mention about Abdul Kalam. So the contribution which he has made to the nation in science, in the space of nuclear, along with the general day-to-day teachings are not comparable. So let us take the example of him and learn how to have the integrity and honesty in our day-to-day life. Thank you.
My next speaker is Toastmaster Venkatpalli. Please come. Take it. What's that? One. Number one is A.R. Rahman. He's a very good musician. Don't talk about that, the movie he got Oscar and other things. Talk about his early days, how he became a musician and other things.
Thank you for the wonderful topic. I was just yesterday or 2 days back also, even if you open my YouTube homepage, there is one song is playing, is from A.R. Rahman. When I was studying my engineering in near to the Nellore, picture name I forgot, but it is like a kind of a Venkateswara Suprabhatam song, like Varmami Puve, Magami Puve, some song is coming, the Sonali Kulkarni heroine, and that was like a Venkateswara Suprabhatam. So suddenly, I don't know, coincidentally, it just appeared on my YouTube, and immediately I liked it. I started playing whole day, yesterday before yesterday also. It was a beautiful song, and not only that, even I was a very big fan of his movies. All his most of the another movie I liked was Prabhudeva Premikudu Kadalan. So Mukabala song. So we played so much about it. And the other thing I came to know, he became a great musician, but actually he worked with the one Telugu musician. His name was Raj Koti. Earlier there was a combination Rajeshwara and Koteshwara. So Koti, he learned from the Koti, but Koti still he's working for the TV shows. But A.R. Rahman became a world musician, and great to have that he's from South Indian and as well as a very Oscar winner. Thank you. Thank you.
Next is our guest from Canberra, DTM Nandini Dariswamy. Take your lucky number. 6. Superstar. Don't talk about the superstar image. Other than cinema. All the best.
Who does not know Rajnikant? Who has not heard a joke extolling the virtues of Rajnikant? And who has not considered Rajnikant our very own superhero. Marvel Comics has got American superheroes, but none of them, not one, can match our own Rajni. Why, you might ask? What has this man done that we bow to the manner in which he has come forward through life from being a bus conductor in his youth all the way to being revered by over 1 billion people? The answer is he believes in people. He does not believe in fame. Surprising for a man so famous. He does not believe in money. Surprising for a man so rich. He believes in people. And it reminds me of a country that I come from called New Zealand, where in ancient times, a Maori chief asked his 4 mighty sons, "What is the most important thing in the world? Go and find it." He aha, te mea nui o te ao. What is the most important thing? The first son said, surely it is money. The second said it is land. The third said it is fame. The fourth and the youngest said, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It is the people, it is the people, it is the people. And that is the reason why Rajnikant is peerless. Madam Toastmaster.
My next key speaker is guest Vijayarajan. Dear Toastmasters and guests, anybody knows about Simon in Nam Tamil party? Like that, he'll speak. Energetic speech. What is your lucky number? Is it?
4, okay. 4 is my lucky number.
4 is it? 7. The politics is a cake of fun. Don't talk about P. Chidambaram as a finance minister. Everyone knows about he's a finance minister, Congress MP and other things. Talk about the other life, end of life.
Thank you, table topic master. The moment you introduced me, I lost respect in myself. And people who had respect on Simon would have lost respect on Simon. Anyway, thank you so much for the introduction. About P. Chidambaram. There are people whom you have seen earlier, came from a very subtle background and gave confidence to the people. It may be Rajnikant or anybody. So coming from a subtle background and creating a very big impact on the society is one kind. Coming from a big background, a huge background, and still you are meeting the expectations of people is very, very difficult. It is as difficult as coming from an ordinary background and going to the high position. So one kind of a person is the personality whom you have shown. That is P. Chidambaram. He comes from a very high background, huge background. His parents, I think so, is the reason behind this Canara Bank or somebody, some banks. Such a bank, and still he was able to maintain his identity, his personality. One great thing I find is his ability to communicate. Many people have intelligence, but very few people have the ability to communicate to the society that they are intelligent, has the ability to project that they are intelligent. One such personality is our P. Chidambaram. Over to you, David.
Next speaker is Dr. Prasanna Vani. Number 8 is Virat Kohli. Don't talk about his cricketing career. He is a captain, he scored 72 centuries and he is a very good captain. He won the play for the World Test Championship. Talk about other things.
Thank you. Thank you for this topic, Toastmaster. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I was in college, my roll number was 4950 throughout all the 4 years. So our practicals used to happen in batches of 25, and I always came at the end. So all the known questions, easy questions are over, and I get the ones which are difficult. So whatever I know about Virat Kohli, a table topic master's already told it, and he's asking me to tell what I don't know. Apart from cricket, we know Virat Kohli for Anushka Sharma. Yes. So when they got married, people were speculating a lot whether his career will take a setback because of marital life. But he proved all the detractors wrong. He went on to have a stellar career. The role of a wife is often portrayed according to the whims and fancies of the public. Sometimes they say she's a reason behind the success of a man. Sometimes they also blame a wife for being a detraction or a distraction to a man's career. What do you think is the truth? Are women the reason behind the success, or do they distract a man from achieving what he intends to do?
Depends how attractive she is.
Okay. The reason is complicated. It varies from situation to situation. It is not the right of us to blame the women when things don't go right, and it is also not, it may be okay to appreciate them, but we never know what's happening inside. So imagine the plight of Anushka Sharma when she had to hear all that she being the reason behind his poor performance. That would have affected their relationship. So as public, whenever we judge or pass comments on people who are at fame, we should be a little guarded and be empathetic towards what they are going through. We should not surmise based on our whims and fancies. Thank you. Over to you, David.
Thank you. The next speaker is Gomadi Tareswami.
My God, please.
Take one. Number 2. No, sit here and give a speech. Number 2 is this one. Ma'am, we know that he is a Prime Minister, he is a Chief Minister also. Don't talk about this political career, since it's a taboo topics. Talk about other things. Thank you.
I find that he is a very simple person, and he cares for the people. He always says that I live for my nation, and it is true. And because of that, people know that they are cared by the Prime Minister of the nation. So he is loved, right from the ordinary person to the top person. There is competition and all, but he doesn't bother. He is not bothered about any comments. He is not bothered about any opposition. That is one thing I really like of him.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Next is Suresh. That's Suresh. Take you. Lucky number. Eleven. Who is he? Okay, please talk about Elon Musk.
Okay. Indeed, a lucky topic. I'm a follower of Elon Musk. So apart from, I'll start my topic. Apart from, he as an entrepreneur, and he being a SpaceX and a Tesla engineer. So I like to start his life story back when he was living in South Africa. So at that time, when he was a kid, he was a computer prodigy. He liked to program. He liked to play games. But the thing, the most different thing about him is what differentiated from me and him is that he wants to learn about how this programming works. Why is the game working in a different way? Whereas I was just interested in getting the points and going to the next level. And then when he was about the age of his 20s, he let go of himself and forced himself to become a financially independent man. That's when at the age of 20s, he somehow managed a way to go from South Africa to all the way to Canada, and that's where he set up his first business called PayPal. You all have heard about it, right? So PayPal. So it was founded by him and his older brother Kimbal Musk, who is agriculture entrepreneur. Now, when you ask him about this two big corporations, actually it's more than two. He's having firms like AI, and he's doing business in Solar City. But why does Tesla and SpaceX stand out the most? Because these two are the companies that gave him the hardest thorns in his life, which he calls it. These two are the hardest challenges. So Tesla was bankrupt. It was when he initially started in 2008, when the America suffered from the Great Depression. Tesla was bankrupt, and it was within single-digit weeks to closing down the factory. So the inspiring thing from that day, even when he was close to death, even as his company was ceased to existence, I could not even surmise whatever he went through that. But successful, he knew that he knew that the battery-powered vehicles would be able to transform the future, and that's when it was his passion to make the world go energy-saving mode. So yeah, and as far as SpaceX, he's like he did not have an engineer, he did not have a degree in aerospace things and all. But how was he so good to start a company from scratch? So my thing which I learned from him is this thing is that it does not come from what you know. It rather comes from what you do with what you know and how you do it with what you don't know. Thank you.
Next speaker is Nishana. What is your lucky number?
7.
Well, number 12 is Raghuram Rajan, ex-RBI governor. Don't talk about this financial thing and everything. Talk about this LA life, if you do that.
Okay, Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. A little bit I know about Raghuram Rajan is everything about from the RBI side, and that was already banned. So other than this information, the thing that I know about Raghuram Rajan is he is a mastermind behind most of the financial policies that is taken in the Indian government. He was brilliant, and I hope I'm going to fail in this one. Yeah, let me try. Now he's moved out of India and moved to LA, as he has stated. So thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Next speaker is Gus Shanmugami. There is no lucky day for you. Directly question. What is your opinion about moonlighting? You agree or disagree? Moonlighting. Now, software industry facing the crisis. No? The same person working for two companies. Yeah. Okay. Talk about your personal.
Good evening. Sir, I have heard about this Toastmaster International 1 year back, but I don't have the chance to come over here. Then somebody has told that Toastmaster is in area. Then I have visited that place near North area. Then I have come to know that the center has been closed. Then I have seen from the internet. Then I have contacted the President Venkat, and he has given one number. Sarwan sir, he has given one number about Venkat. Then I have come here approximately more or less 4 weeks back. Then I couldn't be able to find out this desert rose. Then again 2 weeks back I have come and I have seen and I have entered here. Hardly I was there for 1 hour. Then I have thought it is very good. I can improve my English knowledge. That's why I have come here. I am working in Central Leather Research Laboratory in the field of microbiology. We are doing research about leather and how to, instead of using the chemicals, how can we use the biological things for the processing of leather. This is my personal thing. Thank you very much.
I would request all the audience to give a big round of applause for the TT speakers. Because of the timing constraint, I am going to hand over my stadium to the TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Venkatesan for doing a very unique piece of Toastmastering. Timer Nishana, please quickly list out the qualified TT speakers. And one small request, as she reads out the name, please raise your hand so that we would know your face, please.
Yes, it is Toastmaster Rajesh, Toastmaster Venkat Balle, guest Nandini, guest Vijayarajan, Toastmaster Prasanavani, guest Gomati Duraisamy, and then guest Shankari.
Thank you, Nishana. Let's take next 5 seconds to cast the votes for the deserving TT speaker. 5 seconds, please. 5 seconds, please cast your vote for the deserving TT speaker. Thank you so much. Now moving on with the agenda, it's the time for evaluation and feedback. Without much ado, I invite our general evaluator, DTM Thomas T. Abraham, to do the evaluation session.
Thank you, Rishma. Thank you. So, friends, I'm back here as promised. You heard the speeches. You heard the table topic speeches, where you saw the unknown, less known half of famous people. Now it's time to get into the X-ray room. We will have evaluations in 2 parts. We will first have the evaluations based on the projects. To take that off, I would request Toastmaster Saravanan to please come and give feedback for Toastmaster Rengarajan. And as for Mr. Saravanan, you were introduced as the president. A few more things allow me to say. From Coimbatore he is, but settled in Chennai for 1.5 decades. By the way, this is something I want to tell you. Right and wrong, that's where he thinks people make a mistake. Am I right? Yeah. Or wrong?
Correct.
Right and correct.
Okay. Fine, thank you. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours for chopping a tree. If you give me 6 hours for chopping a tree, I will use the first 4 hours for sharpening the axe." Toastmaster Ranga has sharpened his axe using the first speech. Let us see what are the recommendations as well as commendations. I have 3 commendations in his speech. First one, the topic, canes or cans, here we come. I was intrigued with that topic, whether he was going to say about the film festival or he is going to talk more about the plan as part of the tourism. But he spinned and he spoke about Lucent Technologies, 3G architecture. The second thing I liked is the way an SME, an IT SME, a network SME, or a radio signal specialist talks. That is what is clearly coming out in his speech. The second thing I liked. Third one, in the manual, it is mentioned about building a team and making it as high performance team. But here, Toastmaster Ranga has inherited a team from Lucent Technologies, who is given by a person who owns a ranch and 200 horses, which he cannot say no. But he did not build a team, but he inherited the team. But he spoke about what are the plans as well as how we can reach that milestones as such. That is very clearly coming out. But I was curious to know how he delivered that. Because when you build a team, you know the team persons, what their skill sets, how you can allocate the work to them based on their strengths and weakness. But when you are inherited a job, then how we are going to do that? That is more intriguing. And he mentioned that in the conclusion itself, we will hear more soon, okay, in this second speech. These are the 3 points I liked. There are 4 items which I feel like could be the recommendations. The first one, in the manual itself, it is mentioned like the vision and plan. I was able to see the plan, but where is the vision? What are the strategic objectives behind that? How we are coming up with that plan, are aligning to those strategic objectives from the organization, and how we have come up with the guidance committee. So second point is on the guidance committee, because you have got 4 or 5 members as part of the team, but who is the guidance committee as part of that? How you are verifying and ratifying the plan, because that is also one of the important things that is mentioned in the manual. Third thing is on the plan itself. You mentioned about 4 months and it's a very rigid plan. But when you talk about more risk about the plan itself, I saw the plan, but where is the risk behind that? What are the risk-based rework? What are the KPIs, key performance indicators? What is the success criteria behind that? How you mitigate and come with the contingency plan? So how you baked in those in that 4 months period? So that is another thing. So and then the fourth point is, you mentioned about 3G architecture for quite some time, or 1.5 minutes. If you had cut down that and then concentrate more on the plan and vision, that would be much better. Overall, I say it's a good plan, but if you had concentrated on these areas, it would be much better.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saravanan. It takes a special eye to find value in things such as a ranch and 200 horses that you emphasized. Thank you for that and more. We now move on to the second evaluator, for which I will call upon Toastmaster Venkataseshan. He's a... Oh, I'm so sorry. Toastmaster Atishay, my apologies, I'm sorry. What does he do? Very much the question that Toastmaster, the second speaker, your own speaker has asked. He writes quotes at Amazon, do evaluations at Medley, and mail letters to Santa. Must be having a large house if Santa obliges, I hope. Secondly, I must say this, none of us can match what Toastmaster Atishay has achieved. We cannot do it in a lifetime. How many times have you been to the Taj, ma'am? The Taj? Once. Most of us are 1, 2, 3. Here is a gentleman who has been to the Taj not 10, 20 times. Because Shah Jahan is one of his neighbors. And the common confusion he points out correctly is in advice and advice. I can't even show the distinction the way I speak. I can only show the spelling. Over to Toastmaster Atishay to give his analysis, evaluation of Toastmasters.
When a speaker steps on the stage and opens with a question, who do you think you are? A question this broad that invites a variety of answers. Some objective, some subjective, and then a few naughty ones as well. You know, and you immediately surmise that this speaker is one who loves challenges. And Toastmaster Jagan, with his speech today, that narrated his story through the persuasive influence path, proved this right by telling us how he took on new challenges with every speech and came out victorious at the end of it. To start off, a beautifully done speech, especially considering that the project required reflection. And when you're talking about reflection, the speech often tends to be me-centric. I did this, I felt that, this happened to me. But Toastmaster Jagan, with his masterful speech writing, and the creative idea of using short stories and involving characters from the audience, his mentor, mentees, evaluators, he used these stories, wove this into his reflections, and made the speech entertaining. To top it off, he also asked questions to the audience. His opening was a question to the members of the audience that engaged us and made this speech entertaining while also fulfilling his project objectives of reflecting on the project and thinking about the growth the persuasive influence path helped him achieve. The second positive in his speech was the creative use of slides. The fact that technology enables us to use slides, and the fact that he was able to touch upon every one of his speeches with a picture of himself, with an accurate track record of who his evaluators were, and even though despite the fact that these speeches spanned over a period of 2+ years, he had a record of exactly what happened, why it happened, and what he did better. Beautifully documented, and to top it all off, every step was followed by a table with every speech, dates, and the observations from that speech. Now, my one recommendation to Toastmaster Jagan, as he himself was quite aware, was as soon as the timer showed the yellow card, the Toastmaster started rushing through the last few speeches. This isn't because he wasn't prepared. This was because he did not plan to pace the speeches well. I felt he spent a little bit more time than required talking about the speeches in the beginning, perhaps because those were closer to his heart. But one of the key things that you learn at Toastmasters is to stick to time, because you don't want to talk to the audience all day. So that is one recommendation, that is one area I would recommend the Toastmaster work in. Other than that, great body language, great audience interaction. To summarize, beautifully done speech, well structured, made a boring-ish topic entertaining for the audience. Only if the Toastmaster could pace it better, this speech would be better than the World Cup final match highlights, short, crisp, entertaining. Good luck, Toastmaster Jagan, and over to you, G.
Thank you very, very much. Once again, a reminder, today is the losers finals, so we shouldn't get late. We will be on time. By the way, good news is we were 7 minutes late, but like all brilliant international flights, the pilot takes care. We are more or less made up. Don't you worry. So, on to the tag reports. May I request the timer, Nishana, to come over?
Good evening, everyone. So for the prepared speeches, speech 1, Toastmaster Ranga took 6 minutes 58 seconds, and speech 2, Toastmaster Jagan took 14 minutes 58 seconds. From the evaluation side, speech 1, TM Saravanan took 3 minutes 30 seconds sharp. Speech 2, TM Atishay took 3 minutes 20 seconds. From the table topic side, Toastmaster Rajesh took 1 minute 28 seconds. Toastmaster Venkat Pale took 1 minute 31 seconds. Guest Nandini took 2 minutes. Guest Vijay Raghavan took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Prasanna Vani took 2 minutes 1 second. Guest Gumati took 58 seconds. Guest Suresh took 2 minutes 47 seconds. Toastmaster Nishana took 39 seconds. And guest Shanmugavir took 1 minute 21 seconds.
Thank you very much for that accurate reporting. We will now have the R-Counters report from Toastmaster. Renu?
Good evening all once again. I'm very happy to say out of the 11 speeches, we had 5 clean speeches. And I'm going to mention the names of the clean speeches. TM Jagan, guest TM Nandini, Dr. Prasannavani, guest Gomati, and evaluator Atishay. So wonderful job. Five clean speeches is a wonderful thing. And we had actually almost clean speeches. Very few pauses and filler words. Like TM Ranga had only 2 or 3 filler words. And then Speaker Rajesh Sahu had only 1. Speaker Venkatpalli had only 2. And Shanmugavale, yes, Shanmugavale had a long pause. And evaluator Sarvanan had 2 repetitions of like. So other than that, fantastic job everybody. You all have really made use of the fact that you can speak without a filler word. Over.
Thank you very much, ma'am. May we please have the grammarian.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Being the most selfish person in the room here, I would start with the word of the day. Toastmaster of the day, General Evaluator, Prasannavani, Toastmaster Prasannavani, guest Suresh, and Toastmaster Atishay. They used the word of the day once or more in their speeches. Thank you. When I selected this word, I was not sure. I had a surmise that maybe it won't be used much, but thanks to all. And it was an overflowing right usage of words, right choice of words by almost all the speakers, but I have gathered very few. I missed few because I was more involved in their speeches. But still, I could collect more than, I think, 30 plus words. Toastmaster of the day used contemplating. How can I, because I wanted to take it home, so I noted that as well. Lingering, yet. First time I understood a different word, meaning of yet, how it could be used. Limiting belief, affirmation, heart never hurts, smile never stops, emotion never triggers. Magical melodies, choose to, want to. General Evaluator used precise, timer used eloquent, and our Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Saravanan, used, if you are given 6 hours to chop a tree, I will sharpen my axe for 4 hours, told by Abraham Lincoln. Intrigued, ratified. Speaker 1 used ranch. Evaluator 2 used masterful, top it off, boringish. So it's not, I am not sure whether it is in Oxford Dictionary, but I would take it home. Speaker 2 used pirate, self-reflection. TTM used we build habits and habits build us. In table topic session, Toastmaster Rajesh used fraternity. DTM Nandini used reward, money, land, fame, and people are the 4 most important things in life. Peerless. Toastmaster Vijayaraghavan used subtle. Toastmaster Prasannavani used speculate, whims and fancies. Plight. Guest Suresh used child prodigy. Yeah. So overall, the session was more interactive with a lot of new words and new phrases which we could take away to home.
For someone like the grammarian who likes empathy as his favorite word, I think we paid you back enough. I think you are a happy man, if I'm not mistaken, right? Fantastic. We now will move on to my own report, and thereafter I will take the other assignment given to me. So we will now do the voting for evaluators and for the tag team. The evaluators are Toastmaster Saravanan and Toastmaster Atishay, and the tag team, we just now saw them on stage. So I think voting was swift. Let me now go on to a little twist, if I may do. I've been asked to do a session of 6 minutes timer on the ideal way we can run the meetings, because I realized that only 4 or 5 of us here have seen physical meetings before lockdown came upon us. So the task given to me is to explain how we used to conduct the show so that it's a little like kindergarten. After summer vacation, people have come back, we have forgotten. Some haven't seen it at all. So that is my role, which I will take for 6 minutes. Starting already, you can tell me now. So the objective of this session is to familiarize you with how we used to do things in the pre-COVID era, long time back, if you can recall. We have always enjoyed Medley a reputation for efficient and quality meetings. In fact, a matter of pride that we've been more than once selected in the top 3 when they had a selection. Now there's no selection. In District 82. District 82 also had, beyond Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka. So we were number 3 in that larger group. In the pre-pandemic years, I remember, we used to have it in Jagannathan Club, is another famous institution. We used to normally have about half a dozen people there in the hall by about 2:15. Then they will set up all this. We have lots of ribbons we have. It's all hidden in that box, that blue box. Then we used to put this standee. Of course, here it's almost solo, so we don't need a standee. We used to do that there. But this is a matter of pride because this is a symbol of our legacy. I think that's something we can celebrate once a week. Then, I'm very glad to see that the person who sits last now is the VPM. That's a tradition we've had. I'm glad we brought it here. I would recommend one more thing. There is somewhere hidden there in that box a placard which says a very impolite thing, guest fee ₹200. It is better that the placard speaks that than you having to do that. So please consider adding that embellishment on your table. Then we used to have, of course now it's becoming fashionable, we used to have chits to communicate. You saw that. Of course it's also disturbing. It's more disturbing than chat box, but this is the best we can do. So the chat, what we used to do, we're going to manage with chit and avoid talking. Let not there be any airway, intrusion. Today, for example, we had a little, okay, I'll come back to that. In my report, I'll bring that back. Then we used to get guests from other clubs to come in and help us in evaluation and other roles. That used to be a lot more popular those days. I think we will slowly revive it because people have got used to doing things from home. People don't want to travel. I'm sure we will get back to that system too. In terms of timekeeping, again, I'm very glad I've been around for 8 years. This is something I've seen happening. We've been always punctual. We had a president who instituted this international airline style departure time of 2:55, not 3 o'clock. That I thought I was very much impressed by, coming as I do from the corporate world where time was important for me. So that is a personality that we inherited in Medley. So how we used to do that was, of course now we have got into doing that, realistic agenda making. A 7.5 minute speech, I'm sure all of you will be in the XCOM today or tomorrow. A 7.5 minute speech requires minimum 9 minutes. Coming and going and introductions and all that. So that's something we are doing. That's why we are reaping the benefits of that. So that is already done. Then the president and the VP would, along with the TMOD and GE up to a point, would make sure that things are running on time. I'm glad that's happening too. Because there I think we were a larger group. The hall was slightly different, more enclosed. So it became more obvious for some reason in terms of visibility. Visuals, it looks a little different now. Then, role plays, so I'll come to that. Feedback sheets I explained to you. Then this is a challenge. I don't know, we'd like to hear from you now or later. At one level, we want to do things in a disciplined manner. But at the same time, Sri Medley said, you will learn most when you are in moments of joy. So how do we bring the two together? A little mirth. So that's one challenge we've always had, but I think we have pulled it off. I think we can get an additional dose of mirth and joy here, is my personal feeling. Then, yeah, this is something that has changed. Those days, I can call it olden days, mentors were made use of. Mentors, friends are part of that $45 we pay. No extra charges for that. Physical meeting meant that over samosas, we will go into clusters. I could still remember. We will go into clusters, and one mentor will be talking to that mentee about his speech. Other mentees will join. It's not so secluded like that. But there was a lot of conversation happening. Also, we used to distribute a chit, a longish sheet of paper in which we would write our opinion, feedback to each speaker. And remember, those days we used to have 4 speeches minimum. Then, so this is broadly what I had to say about what I remember. And of course, Jagannathan Club, I don't know why it's not happening now. There used to be a huge rush. Maybe we were more people, that's why. Over the tea counter, there'll be a lot more milling around. Now it's a lot more disciplined. I think we must have a bit more of that happening. I don't know. Nostalgia, maybe. So that finishes my first part. I hope I've not crossed the time limit. Now I move on to my report. In my report, I want to first of all say that the voting is done. In my belief, in my opinion, there are 4 things that make for a good meeting. First of all is planning. Second is preparation, / passion. Third is mindfulness and flexibility. Fourth is teamwork. So I will deal with today's meeting in these 4 quadrants. Planning, the agenda was released today. I know we have very knowledgeable, experienced guests, but they know that things happen. Doesn't normally happen. This time, I must say this for the benefit of the guests also, that we could not get to appropriate evaluators for quite some time. Otherwise, we are much better off. So today was an exception. So today the agenda got a bit late, and I must say how much the VPE struggled. I know that. I'm personally aware of it. The fact that he set it up all and then he could not even attend today because of office emergencies, exigencies, shows the unknown part about ExCom. We don't see that. We don't see Dinagaran, we don't see Dinagaran. But I know the trouble he took to make sure this meeting took place. So all credit to him. Compliments also to him for getting the 2 of the best evaluators that these 2 projects deserved. These are level 5 projects. These are near summit projects that deserve to be acknowledged, which again he managed to pull it off. Then a delayed agenda hampers the TMOD in particular. But she made up for that, I know, by doing separate calls, multiple calls, wanting to come here early. That is the responsibility one takes, because this is an event. This is a small event, but this is event management. I must credit her for that commitment. Compliments to VPE for creating a realistic agenda. That's why we could manage that, because we cannot go too fast when the clouds are there, but we could. Then a group was formed, a WhatsApp group, midweek, so we knew who each other were, and we could get the introductions on time. Then speakers, full credit, the 2 speakers shared the manual there. Typically it's become fashionable to only give the evaluation sheet. That doesn't tell you anything at all. So what happens is, last moment there's a change in the evaluator. We don't have to run around like a headless chicken. Here we can manage it ourselves. So full credit, and I could see that the manual has enabled the evaluators to get into the nuts and bolts of what's required. That's the difference it makes. Then, preparation. Prepared speeches showed the preparation you have done. It's truly prepared speeches. Now, in terms of disturbance, the negative side, I think I've dealt with that. There was some murmur which we must avoid. We must use chits. Then, yes, today's story for me is how to make the other person feel good. You did that, special credit to you. This is the way introductions are done. I'm very happy that I've been part of this flight too. Over to you.
Thank you. G, can we have a round of applause for G? Thank you. I was a teacher for 12 years. It was a lecture class at 8:30 and it was raining. Rahul was late for the class and I asked Rahul, why late, Rahul? Ma'am, it was raining. Because of rains, I came late to the class, and he went. For my 8:30 class, there was one student called Ranjit at 8:20. So I said, Ranjit, you're early for the class? Yes, ma'am, in spite of rains, I managed to come to the class early. Now see the beauty of the two words. Because of rains, I came late to the class. In spite of rains, I managed to come early to the class. Because of guest, I didn't study for my exam. In spite of guest, I studied and scored well. Because of cyclone, we didn't attend Toastmasters. In spite of cyclone, we did attend Toastmasters. The word because of trains your mind, trains the human intelligence to give excuses and avoid, procrastinate your behavior. The word in spite of energizes you, creates enthusiasm, trains the mind, trains the human intelligence to do the act, whatever be the situation. In a nutshell, because of makes the situation be in control of you. The word in spite of, you are in control of the situation. So to conclude my theme of right choice of words, dear Medleyans and guests, no more can I, only how can I. No more shoulds and have, only choose to, want to. No more because of, only in spite of. And use the powerful three-letter word YET, yet, at the end of your negative beliefs to convert it into positive affirmations. With these few words, I hand over the session to the presiding officer, President Toastmasters Saravanan, to take the meeting forward. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmasters Day. Please give a big round of applause for Toastmasters. What a session we had. So now it's time for us to share the voting slips. Please complete it if you have not done. Okay, we'll give 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Please put the votes for the role players as well. Role players, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sandhya, General Evaluator, DTM Thomas Abraham, and TT Master, Toastmaster Venkatesh. What a session we had. Did you enjoy the session?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Fine. So not every day or every session we get to listen to 2 level 5 speeches. Please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Jagannathan as well as and they are completing their journey for this particular levels, right? For this level as well as pathways. And I wish them all the success for their next pathways. Don't stop it here itself. Now let us hear the feedback from the guests. So, DTM Nandini, can you please come here and then share your feedback on today's session?
I could say that I'm impressed. I could say that I was carried away. I could even say that I was astonished. But Mr. President, Madam Toastmaster, the word to describe this experience here in Medley Toastmasters is astounding. It has been astounding. I'd like to commend particular people. Some of us are starting our journey here, and it is marvelous to see how a young Toastmaster who's a microbiologist working in a leather industry can come here and hold his own for 2 whole minutes. I'd like us to all give him a round of applause. Very well done, sir. I'd also like to say, Mr. Thomas Abraham is quite obviously a seasoned professional speaker. I have a question for you, sir. Why are we not seeing you compete in the World Championships? And I seriously want you to challenge yourself. I threw a challenge to you today. Can we see you there? Because you are that good. But there are others. Atishay, I don't know if here in Chennai or in southern India, in your district, I don't know if you've got an evaluation contest. But that evaluation that you did for Jagan's speech today, if this was Australia and New Zealand, you would have gone all the way to the division finals. There are other speakers here, table topics as well as the prepared speeches. If we challenge ourselves, if we put in some time and effort, I think that absolutely everybody in this club could go to the World Championships, and I really seriously mean that. What does that look like? Well, I'll tell you what that looks like, because I coached one of the people in New Zealand who went all the way to number 2 in the world. And the way that we did it was, you are running a marathon, but you're also running short sprints as you get to the final. And the way that you start, and I would urge every person here to watch the World Championship winning speeches, and you can buy them from Toastmasters International, the website has it, as far as I remember. It is instrumental. So I did that, I watched all those speeches, and then I recorded myself, and I wanted to hide under the table. But in my mind, there is one person here who absolutely stole the show. I have listened and attended clubs across Australia and definitely almost every club in New Zealand. I've started my Toastmasters journey in 2002, and I cannot remember the last time I heard a Toastmaster who entertained, instructed, and absolutely transported me to a different world. I'd like us to stand up and applaud. Absolutely amazing. She's an inspiration to us all. Think about the preparation that went into her Toastmastering today. You're an inspiration to me. I want to go back, because I'm a lapsed Toastmaster now. You have made me want to go back and join my club again. So I thank you. It has been a privilege, and I hope that the next time I visit Chennai, you will have me again as a visitor. This has been a privilege, and I thank you.
Thank you very much for those inspirational words. And then next week we have a special meeting as well. And for that, we have a dress code. Red and white. Okay. So in case if you are here, please come over here with red and white.
I won't be here, but I wish I could.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. So next, yourself, madam. Can you provide some feedback about today's session?
It has opened my world. And I want to, it has really helped me to learn a lot. See, I am not much exposed. Now I want to get exposed and learn from all you young people. So that is my impression. I don't have any words more to appreciate this gathering.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Each one of you have made me really feel your presence here. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you. So next, Joseph.
So last 2 hours was very interesting. Especially Madam, she has given very inspiration and very interesting speech. And also Mr. Jagan and one more anyone is behind the J. They have given very interesting speaking. Overall, last time I have come, near about 26 persons were there. Even though less people are there, those who are in the responsible, they have done their work properly, very attentively. So totally it is very interesting. Thank you.
Suresh.
You know, apart from the speeches, the thing I found different today was about the table topics. Because, you know, every time the table topic was about, they asked me, what will you do if you are a millionaire? The only thing I didn't get was, what will you do if you're a trillionaire? But today I was sitting out there, and the quite stressful part was like I had to like they were questions about politics, like CM and PM. I'm not that much into politics, and I don't know anything about TMOD other than the fact that before becoming prime minister he used to sell teas, and I don't know that any of politics. So I was sitting out there. I just don't want to get this political questions. But luckily, the thing is, like I was really excited when I got Elon Musk, because there's a lot of research that me and my friends, like ever since I heard about him in high school till now, we just read every article of him. So I just got excited, and I think I went over the time limit also. And then I could just keep going, you know, if there's no timing, I could just keep going. But yes, time is also important. Like you don't have to stand here and keep talking to everyone, because that might just lose the interest of the speech. So yes.
Thank you for the feedback. Yeah. Toastmaster Vijay.
So today it is Medley's meeting. I was with Medley, so I know the quality of Medley, and the expectations are met. I'm fully happy and satisfied with all the performance, and Madam Nandini has given a detailed compliments, and I also completely enjoyed, especially a small thing that I want to compliment is Jagan's speech. Even though I have for a long time, I thought curiosity can build on thriller stories and suspense stories, but he was talking about the speeches which he has given already. But that created curiosity. What's the next speech? What is the speech he would have spoken about? So that was a news takeaway for me. So we can build curiosity, even in any speech we can build curiosity. That is the takeaway from you. And of course, I want to come to Medley. Your takeaways as well. Overall, I totally enjoyed today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. We definitely would look forward for you to come over here. Now it's time for announcing the best performance for the day. The best TT speaker goes to a person who came from Australian capital to Chennai, Indian capital, Tamil Nadu.
Thank you.
It's a rolling job. Holding on.
Video is not there. Video is not there. Please come.
Yeah.
That 2 square.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Now it's good.
You can snatch it again.
Yeah, keep it.
It's rolling.
Thank you.
My vote was for Prasanna Mani. Very good.
Fine. The best speaker goes to Toastmaster Ranga. The best role player goes to Toastmaster Sandhya.
Yeah.
The best evaluator goes to Toastmasters Adishay. And Adishay, one more thing also. I have to just forget about. Short of ribbons.
Level.
This is for you. And the best tag role player goes to Toastmaster Venkatesh. With this, we have come to the end.